Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, good evening. This is the Blessed Driver here, Kaylana, and I know my eyes look a little red. However, I just got off of my shift with Instacart, and I am quite tired. And so should have gotten off at 8 o'clock. However, they sent me a large batch that was a double batch, and I didn't get off until 10. Whatever. So anyway, the reason why I'm doing this live video is because I have talked with quite a few shoppers, actually several shoppers, and I've seen some of their posts, and they have a concern that when they first started Instacart, they were never given any formal training. They did not even have an onboarding session. And from what I've been told is that they have actually met somebody, maybe like a shift lead or a mentor or whoever, and all they received was a credit card and maybe a t-shirt, maybe a lanyard. And actually some shoppers have never even received a t-shirt or a lanyard. So I'm just going to quickly go over a couple of tips for new Instacart shoppers and some ways to kind of relieve yourself, as far as just making yourself more comfortable with shopping if you have never had any formal shopping. Now, I hope you guys don't mind because, like I said, I just got home. Literally, I just walked into the door. I just felt led to make this video, and I have not eaten anything. I'm so hungry, so I had to. I have like a turkey and Havarti sandwich, so hopefully I'm going to try not to eat anything, but I'm very hungry. Anyway, so the first thing is if you have just started Instacart in the last 30 days, I would say between the last 30 to 60 days, one thing to keep in mind is that, there's a lot of other people that are going through the same thing as you. I guarantee it. So don't feel bad if you feel like you're kind of out there by yourself. If you have never had any formal training from anybody from Instacart, meaning you have not had an onboarding session. Now, whenever you have an onboarding session, now this is what I went through when I had an onboarding session, because last year I started with Instacart last October. That's when I officially got on board. And long story short, the onboarding session was pretty simple. It was a lady that came from San Francisco from the Instacart headquarters, and she came in and she trained us, and we had to do a practice shop. And if you look on the app, actually you'll see it says demo, and that's what it is. It's basically you're doing a practice shop and things like that. So you practice getting certain items from the store, and then you come back because you're also being timed, and then you come back and then they time you to see how well you did and make sure that you had the right items, etc., etc. It's very simple. And then also the girl, she basically went over some of the details about Instacart. She gave us a number, but she basically said don't call the number because and that's in a previous video I did. And she just talked about the Instacart rules, things you should and shouldn't do. She gave us a t-shirt, she gave us a lanyard. It took about 4 hours total. And I don't know if we watched, I think we watched a couple of videos on her laptop or something. I can't remember. But basically it was kind of simple. So it really wasn't anything too hard. And she hired everybody on board. I know some people that were hired, they didn't stay. Well, at least I don't see them anymore. It doesn't mean that they're not on, but some shoppers I've actually remember, like they were actually they went through the onboarding with me, and they stopped Instacart, and now they work for Shipped for various reasons. And so if you have never had any training, Instacart does provide videos. If you look on YouTube, here on YouTube, you actually you will see videos from Instacart. It's like shopper training or something like that. I can't remember how many videos there are. I want to say it's like 5. But and also you can watch some of my videos, and there's some other videos from other shoppers, so you can just do that as well. That's the best advice I can give you. You should know who your team lead is, as far as like your team lead or your shift lead, your mentor, your area manager. If they don't give you that information, then you will have to probably reach out to Instacart to find out who they are and things of that nature. And I believe also because they don't want anybody to call if there's any problems, they just, I don't know, they might not give you the number right away if you have never had any onboarding training. I was just talking with a shopper, and she was saying that she never had any training. All she was giving was like a card, of course the prepaid card, and I think they gave her, I forgot what it was, something else they gave her, but she was just like, that's all I got. And she said she had questions for the woman she met. I think she was like a mentor or shift lead, and she kind of brushed her off. And so she never, like, she basically doesn't even know how to shop. It's crazy. And so she said that I'm afraid to get a double batch. I don't know what to do. And so I'm like, oh my God. And so, basically, guys, if you just started and you never had any training, unfortunately, you do have to kind of wing it. You have to kind of get out there on your own and just learn the best that you can. And I apologize on Instacart's behalf if no one has been trained, if no one has had any onboarding sessions. It's crazy, y'all. I just think it's crazy. And so, and one thing I do want to mention is if you do get a double batch, of course, and I'm talking about the ones who have never had any onboarding or any training with Instacart, the best thing to do if you get a double or triple batch is to separate everything in the cart. Meaning, like, the first thing that I do is I look and I see what items are in each customer's order. I look and see who has the largest order and things like that. And so just because like for instance, like order A may have 35 units or 35 items or whatever, order B may have 12, and order C may have, I don't know, 27. You know what I mean? But just because the order has like, maybe order B may be smaller, doesn't mean that it doesn't have any large items. Because sometimes if there are certain batches that are smaller, they may have large items like cat food or dog food, or cases of soda or water, things like that. So I try to put the heavier items inside the middle of the cart, of course, inside the basket. And then and the first thing I do is check for deli items. If you are in a zone or state or a city that has items that you can order from the deli, like down here in Florida, we have Publix. And so people order like deli meats, deli cheeses, hot and cold foods, from the deli. And so I look for that first. And so if I do see something like that, if a customer orders specific deli items or a sub or whatever, then I go on the Publix app and then I go ahead, I order it and get it out the way. So after I'm done shopping, I can go pick it up and scan it and then I'm done. That's what I do. But not all states and cities have that type of capability, because they might not have it at their store. And also, most grocery stores have hand baskets. So I put a couple of hand baskets underneath my cart depending on the order, because if they don't have any large items, then I'm able to separate like that. For instance, like I may put 2 or 3 baskets underneath my cart, and then maybe another one on top where like the little small area is, depending on how many batches I get at one time. So that's only if you have triple or double batches. Also, what I do sometimes is I have index cards with me at all times, and if I get like a triple batch, and I only do this for triple batches, I just write A, B, and C. I have had quadruple batch before where I had 4. That's crazy. But anyway, and so what I do is I get the index card and I put A and then B and then C. And so if it's 3 batches, of course, like a triple batch, I just put the index card for each in each area in my shopping cart. For instance, like if I have like the largest order inside the big compartment, I just put like the index card there. So basically that's how I separate some things if it's like a triple batch. That's just the best way that I could tell you to do it. Also, you have to get familiar with the store. That's probably the most important thing out of all the things with Instacart. If you're a newbie and never had any training, is get familiar with the store, because every store that you go to may not be laid out the same. I'm telling you, because I know down here in Florida, we have Publix. And as much as I love Publix, like all the stores aren't the same. Like the layout isn't the same. They don't carry all the same items, stuff like that. So you have to kind of familiarize yourself with the store. And I know that you may not always go to the same store like me. Like I always visit the same stores, but there's times where they may have me to go to a different store that I don't visit regularly. And so just kind of remember where things are. I think that because speed is an issue with Instacart, and they want to make sure that you have like fast speed. What I've learned is once I got used to the store, I know where everything was, and I could just go straight to wherever it is I need to get the items from and things of that nature. So familiarize yourself with the store, because I think so many people, like newbies, are so worried about speed, and they don't really take the time to try to figure out what stuff is, because they want to hurry and rush and get done quickly, and then you end up missing items, or you forget stuff, or you get frustrated. Just kind of just take your time. And once you walk in, just kind of look around, because up top they have like in the grocery stores, there's like the aisle numbers, and what each aisle, like what items they have in each aisle, like whatever. Then just kind of like look around that way. And also in the Instacart app, it shows you the quickest routes, like what to do. You can follow that, but for me, I have my own system. Like for me, like I said before, I check the deli items. I order those through the Publix app, and I get that out of the way. I also check to see, okay, who has the heavier items. Did they order sodas? Did they order water? Have they ordered like, jugs of milk? I look at stuff like that. So any heavier items, I make sure that they're in like the largest area, that I can, put them in if I have like a double or triple batch and stuff like that. So I get the heavy stuff and I put that first, because I don't want to get my fruits and vegetables or anything soft and then put that in first, and then everything else heavy, it squeezes like my fruits and vegetables. I don't want that. And so I know sometimes the app may show you, yeah, go ahead, go straight to the bell peppers, go ahead and get your grapes. I don't do that, because I don't want to get my fruit and stuff first and then I get my heavy stuff or like other things last, and then it like squishes my fruit and vegetables. I don't want to do that. Or even bread. I tend to get the bread out of the way. I put it up top so that way it won't get squished, or I will get it last and then make sure that's up top, so in case like it's a large order, the bread won't get squished. You know what I mean? That's another suggestion as far as getting started as you're shopping. Another it's kind of funny, but another thing is I know, like, when you're new, you probably won't know who everybody is as far as like shoppers, and you might see some other Instacart shoppers based upon like their lanyards or like their t-shirts. And there are Instacart shoppers that you might not even know that they're shoppers because they don't wear lanyards or t-shirts. Like, I don't wear my lanyard or my t-shirt anymore because of an incident I had with a worker, but I won't get into that right now because it's another vlog. But I do wear my lanyard once I get out of the store, once I get in my car, I put on my lanyard, so that way the customer can know it's me. Like they'll know it's me because I have on my lanyard. I just feel like the grocery store people don't need to know all my business. I mean, I'm shopping, that's it. That's just me. But I believe, like, when you're first starting Instacart, I would say wear your lanyard in your t-shirt. And that's how I know when there's newbies, because veterans usually don't wear them. I mean, not all of them. I mean, like, half of them do, half of them don't. That's going to be up to you. But I would say when you first start, at least in your first 30 to 60 days, wear your lanyard in your t-shirt, even when you're shopping, or at least your lanyard, you know what I mean? Because I'm telling y'all, there are like shift leads and mentors and managers that be in there, and you can't even see them. Like, sometimes they don't even wear like no gear. Like, no lanyards, no t-shirts, and they'll be watching you, and you're thinking that it's just like a regular customer shopping, but they're really watching you. And so, and also, you don't even know if you do bump into another Instacart shopper that may have on the t-shirt or lanyard, they can actually be, like a mentor or a manager, so you don't know. So just be courteous. Hey, what's up? Some of them don't even speak. I don't care, but just focus on just getting your job done. Don't get into any drama. And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about is dealing with, and that's going to actually be on a separate vlog I'm going to do, dealing with, grocery workers, like, cashiers and managers and deli workers and stuff. That's a very tough topic, because remember, you're always representing Instacart. You have to make sure that you have a positive attitude. And I know sometimes you may not feel like it, because you may feel like, you're just being treated any kind of way or whatever. Because, I can go on and on about that, but I'm just going to focus on y'all right now. Because you might run into situations where you might have some issues with a grocery store worker, like a cashier or a produce person or somebody that works in a deli, or maybe even the management. Because I don't think all, grocery store associates are too happy with Instacart, or even ship workers. For some reason, I don't know why. I think some of them may have had some bad experiences with some shoppers that may have had attitudes or whatever. But I don't know. But I'm just saying, just put your best foot forward. And if you do run into an issue with any of the store associates, like sometimes you may get some that have attitude with you, especially if you have a large order. I've noticed that, like, when I have larger orders or like larger batches, that's when I have the most attitude from some of these associates, like whatever. And so I'm thinking, you just standing there scanning stuff, like, what's the big deal? But just blow it off. And make sure that you document it if you feel uncomfortable or whatever. But if you feel like someone's making you feel uncomfortable continuously when you go to the store, I would at least try to address it to your shift lead, your mentor, or your manager or somebody before you address it to this person themselves. Because I'm telling you, Instacart will take their side before they take yours. And I'm saying this from personal experience, okay? That's another tip, is just try to, dealing with store associates, just try to be friendly, but just kind of stay low. You're in there, you're shopping. And also, another thing is, make sure that you focus on what you're doing when you're shopping. Like, I know it's so funny. I'm trying to laugh. Forgive me, Lord. Okay. So like, I remember like a couple months in when I started Instacart, I want to say about 3 or 4 months in, if that, I used to always run into the same shopper, and we used to always like run to each other. And he's so funny. And he goes, "Hey, you're Instacart." I'm like, "Yeah." And I would notice that, like, I mean, he's really nice and everything, but he liked to talk. And he likes to stop and talk. "Man, this is great. Don't you love it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool, you know." And so sometimes he would just keep stopping and talking, but keep in mind that you're being timed. So you're being timed from the time that you start, and also from the time that you scan your first item into each item that you have to go and pick up. So you don't really have time for chit chat. It's okay to, to say, "Hey, how you doing? You good? Okay, that's what's up," and keep it moving. Because you got some shoppers that they're talkative. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just some people like to talk. They'll also be aware that there might be some shoppers who are intentionally trying to slow you down. So it can mess up your metrics, because you always have that one deadly do right, maybe a handful that always wants to make themselves feel special, like they want their names and lights, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the week, they all get to see who was the fastest and this and this and this. Who cares? As long as you're within your time, your metrics are good. You're not slow, and even thank you, Lord. So like, also, I want to say another thing, besides don't talk to everybody, is that when you first start Instacart, you may not be like really quick right away. And I know that was a concern for me because I was still trying to get used to it. I didn't know where everything was. And so your metrics may be kind of slow in the beginning. Like, it may seem like, gosh, I don't know where anything is. And like, you may find yourself just standing there, like looking around at the store. So don't be discouraged when you first start and it looks like you're going too slow. You got to get used to it. I promise you. Like, when you get used to it, whatever you do, don't get frustrated, because you might see other Instacart shoppers coming in just flying. And then you might also talk to somebody who might be just as new as you, and you may see them flying through the store. Everybody has their own method. Everybody is different, but just focus on you. And like I said, familiarize yourself with the store, glance around, and then look at the app and see where they want you to go first. But just kind of figure out your own system. And once you do that, then it's a piece of cake. Okay. That's one thing. Also, another thing is trying to like dealing with customers, like especially if you're a newbie because you haven't been trained, is dealing with like replacements. I know that seems to be a big issue from some of the shoppers that I've spoken with, because some people don't. So funny. Some people don't even know how to like do a replacement. I don't understand it because it's very self-explanatory in the app, but I'm gonna be nice. So basically, like, so some shoppers, like some newbies, don't even know how to do replacements. For instance, okay. Yesterday it was town hall, and I don't know if you guys were able to catch that, but Instacart had sorry, my eyelash looks funny. I don't know what that. Sorry, but Instacart had their town hall meeting online via web. You can also do it on the phone. Long story short, they had a list of questions that they were reading off from some questions that were submitted a few weeks prior. And one particular shopper, I kid you not, I just couldn't believe it, they even answered this, but one particular shopper asked, "What do you do if a customer wants more than one item and you can only get one? What do you do about the other replacement?" And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, did they really ask that question? Because basically, okay, say like if a customer wants 3 boxes of macaroni of a particular brand, maybe like 3 boxes of Velveeta macaroni or something, right? Or Kraft macaroni, whatever it is. And they only have 1 box or 2 boxes. You just get those 1 or 2 boxes and that's it. Now you can scan a third one, by maybe like one that's similar. But what you normally would do is, if you do scan like a third one or something, I would reach out to the customer, let them know that, because they might not want that particular brand. You see what I'm saying? And so I would just get whatever they have available and then send a customer a message to say, "Hey, they only had 1 or 2 of these. I just got what was available. Would you like a replacement, or would you like something in addition to whatever?" Just ask them. You know what I mean? I mean, that's pretty simple. And so I don't know why Instacart, I don't know, whatever. I want to eat my sandwich so bad. It's so good. And so, but anyway, that's that. And so, those are some of the things I hope helps you guys as a newbie, and stuff like that. And so whatever you do, also if you're a newbie and you just started and you haven't had any training or any onboarding, whatever you do, do not try to do things your own way when you're delivering a batch. As far as the sequencing and when you're delivering. For instance, okay, say like if you're doing a double batch or a triple batch, and once you've completed your shopping, Instacart tells you to go to customer B first instead of customer A. Customer A may actually be close to the store that you're at, but Instacart says go to customer B. You do that, okay? Don't try to figure out why they did that. Don't try to go to the first, to another customer first because they're closer, because you'll get in trouble and they'll figure that out. Just do whatever the app says, okay? Because I know it seems kind of off that sometimes they send you all the way across town to like one area to drop off an order, and then all the way across town to another. You're like, wait a minute, I could have just went up the street. Just do whatever they say, because I know some customers may have a specific time and when they want their groceries delivered. And so just follow the app. Don't try to do your own thing. Don't be like the Lone Ranger and saying, you know what, this might work, because you're going to get caught eventually and they're going to get upset. So I definitely don't want you to get deactivated for something silly like that. It's not even worth it. Also, if you have never been trained or had onboarding, alcohol. Make sure that when you deliver your items, your batches to the customer, first, I want to talk about like groceries. Now, you may have some for instance, like you may have shopped for a customer who have ordered groceries, but then also may ordered like a bottle of wine or a case of beer or something like that along with their order. Make sure that, now this is just one tip. You don't have to do this, but this is something that I do. Send them a message through the app and say, hi, I'm getting ready to deliver your order. I'm on my way. Just please be sure to have your driver's license or state issue ID handy for me to scan and to check to disperse your alcoholic beverages, and do not give them the alcohol before you scan their ID or check it. It may seem kind of routine because you might get so used to giving them the groceries and whatever first. Just make sure that you scan and check their ID first, and then give it to them. Don't do it last. Don't do it after, because you don't know if the person can be like a cop. You just never know who these people could be. They could actually work for Instacart, corporate. You just don't know. Just do it the right way, and no shortcuts. And so those are probably some of the best things that I could suggest, especially if you just first started with Instacart. And also, I don't know why I feel led to say this, but even when dealing with associates, like, just kind of stay low with that. And I know some of the most nastiest associates that I've come across, and even other shoppers have told me, it's Costco workers. I don't know what it is about Costco. I just don't know what it is about Costco. Like, not all of them, because I mean, some of them that I know, like only a couple of them are just they're awesome. But I actually got Costco taken off of my account today for some specific reasons, and so I won't go into detail on this, but some things you just got to get used to. And that's another thing for newbies. Like I said, they've never been trained, never had onboarding. It's Costco. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, Costco, it was one of the ones I hated the most. And so depending on the type of vehicle you have, it can cause some damage to your car. If you get heavy stuff. I used to get those batches, y'all. I'm talking like hundreds of pounds. I might exaggerate, hundreds of pounds. And I'm talking like maybe like 5 or 6 cases of water, maybe four cases of other types of beverages, 6 cases of Gatorade. I'm talking about heavy stuff for one order. And so it was weighing down. It was just causing damage to my axles. And so I just, whatever. So you may get batches like that from Costco or wherever it is that you guys go. And so just be aware that make sure that you get your Costco card. Some of you guys have never even known about a Costco card or anything, because I didn't even know, because I just got a batch one day. Like when I first started Instacart, I want to say like a few weeks after, I got a Costco order. I'm like, Costco? And so I didn't even know. Like, I'm like, what do I do? And long story short, guess what? It was my very first batch. My very first batch, I had to go to Costco. And nobody told me anything. Nobody sent me an email, nothing. So I had to call Instacart. I think I called them, or they emailed me or something. I think what happened was I was not able to deliver it, because when I went to go check out, I didn't have my card. The manager wouldn't let me check it out. He was just being nasty. And so I couldn't deliver it. That's what happened. I remember that now. And so if you guys are wondering, where do I get my Costco card from? You go to You go to the Costco and go to the customer service area, like, the customer service desk, and ask them for your card. And they say, "Hi, my name is so and so. I work for Instacart. I'm supposed to have a card here." And so they'll look it up, and if they have one for you, then they show your ID, and they basically have to take a picture, and then that's it. But Instacart should already provide that for you, because if they're giving you a Costco batch, that means that you already have a card. So they're not going to mail it to you. You got to go there, take a picture. They're going to check your ID, things like that. And so that's how that goes. And so, I don't know if Costco is available in every state, but I'm just saying, just in case you get one, that's where you got to go. Because I know some people don't even know nothing about Costco at all. And so that's probably my some of the best tips I can offer. If I think of anything else, and if you guys are new, like I said, if you guys are new to Instacart that are watching this right now, you're more than welcome to ask any questions while I'm on here, because I'm getting ready to get off. I'm a little exhausted. My eyes are red. And so you guys are more than welcome to ask away. And maybe some of you guys have been doing Instacart for a long time. You're more than welcome to shoot your comments and questions or suggestions. And even like after I get off of here, please feel free to post any questions or comments or your thoughts or suggestions to newbies. Now this video is only for new people who have never had any onboarding or any training. Like I said, there's been a lot of people who've been complaining that they've never had any training. They don't know who their managers are. They never even had onboarding. They were just given a card, a lanyard, and that was it. And so I just want y'all to be encouraged. I know it can be kind of frustrating, kind of difficult. And also one thing I want to let you know before I go is when you also, like, you may have times where you may not be able to get a hold of a customer. That happens. Or maybe you're outside of a gate and you can't get in. Or maybe you are outside of a customer's house, or you've knocked and stuff. No one's coming to the door. So what do? The first thing is, once you're not able to get a hold of the customer by phone, by text, or whatever, you immediately click in your app. If you click on the question mark or the I or whatever, hit customer missing. This immediately sends a notification to the customer letting them know, hey, someone's outside or someone's here. The shopper's here. Please come to the door, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes customers are at work. They may have had an emergency and they had to leave. I mean, there's so many different variations as to why a customer's not answering or why they're not coming to the door. But if you're at a gate, you're just gonna have to wait or maybe go in circles. It's kind of crazy, but that's just how it is. And so after about 10 minutes, it's gonna say call CS, means call shopper support or customer service. That's when you call Instacart customer service. Now, sometimes you might be on the line for a long time before you can talk to a representative. But what I normally do is I wait a couple minutes, and then I call Instacart before the 10-minute thing ends. Because sometimes you could be on hold for like 30 minutes, an hour. I'm not joking, y'all. Like, I have been, oh my God, like I've been on hold for like an hour before, 45 minutes. It was just crazy. And so make sure that you reach out to Instacart and make sure that you speak to a live person. Do not hit delivered or swipe to end delivery if you have not delivered to the customer. Because if you do that, you can get into some trouble. So wait until you talk to an Instacart representative. Let them know what's going on. What they're going to do is they're going to put you on hold, and then they're going to call the customer themselves a couple of times. If the customer does not answer, they're going to cancel the order. Yes, you still get paid for the batch, and then it swipes out, and then that's it. And then you go on to the next batch if you have another one. So it's unfortunate that it happens. The only reason why I don't like those too much is because, say suppose if the customer wanted to tip you, like you would never get a tip because they didn't get the groceries. And so and what do you do with the food? Like I've seen a lot of those questions. Like I have the food, like what do I do? Instacart is going to either suggest that you take it back to the store. Anything that's non-perishable, like cheese, meat, fruit, dairy, stuff like that, you can't take back. I know with Whole Foods, you're not allowed to take stuff back to Whole Foods, as far as I remember. Also, or they'll tell you donate it to a church or a local food bank or keep it, whatever. It's up to you. Really, it's up to you. Because it's just going to sit there, and especially like depending on the state you live in, it's going to be hot, and you don't want that stuff to rot in your car. So just get rid of it right away. So if you can't take it back, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. And so whatever they tell you to do, it is what it is. And so, but those are some suggestions that I would probably say would hopefully help you guys. Like I said, this particular video is for new Instacart shoppers that have never had any formal training or have never had any onboarding, and they were never told anything on what to do. and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm sure there's other questions and stuff that I can actually suggest or go over. But I'm too tired to even think. But anyway, guys, if you do have any questions or comments, you're more than welcome to shoot me an email. My contact information is down there below. You can also comment right down there in the comment section, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. But I'm gonna eat my sandwich and then I'm going to bed. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.